Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be discussing the preseason opener for the Washington Commanders. The excitement around Jayden Daniels is real. We also have to talk about some unfortunate news with a guy by the name of Emmanuel Forbes, who a lot of people continue to defend. But I couldn't do it alone, as I had to bring somebody that has been around a long time that I'm pretty sure you guys know. My guy Abdullah, who is kind of in the middle of both, running his own thing and DMV Sports Zone. All that and much more coming up here next. Let's get straight to it.
How I feel? Bless. What I want?
Get back slow. I love the way she rockin' it. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, and shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's no beginner. She's confident. I love the way she move.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We have the Washington Commanders live stream. And in today's live stream, I have a very special guest. My man Abdullah, representing DMV Sports Zone. I know him from He Got Sports. That's a long time ago. But how you doing, Abdullah? Appreciate you for stopping by, my man.
Nah, I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you. It's been a while. Commanders football is finally back. It's that time of the year where our hopes, hopefully, aren't disappointed year after year. Maybe this time will be different. Who knows? But now I'm excited football is back, bro. That Jets game, I'm just happy that football is back. Sundays are actually going to be fun now.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said before, I know you you seemed a little bit surprised or shocked that I brought up He Got Sports. I remember you before all this, man. You know what I'm saying? Before all of this.
I was 17. Now I look like I'm 27. So.
But no, man, I appreciate you for stopping by. And yeah, you hit it right on the head. Sundays are going to be very fun again, and it's very interesting, and it's also going to be super fun because now we have a quarterback that I feel everyone is on board with. It's no more like last year. It was very split with Sam Howell. Year prior to that, it was very split with Carson Wentz. It was split with Ryan Fitzpatrick and then Dwayne Haskins, so forth and so on. Like, it was never a unanimous guy that we all got behind, and now I feel like that is put to bed with the drafting of Jayden Daniels. So I first want to start there, and I'm pretty sure we're going to talk a lot about him tonight, as the title says. Was that enough, or do we need to see more Jayden Daniels in the preseason? But I want to first start by taking it back to the draft. Pre-draft, was he a guy that you wanted, or were you more of a Drake May, hoping that Caleb Williams fell to us, or JJ McCarthy, or somebody other than Jayden Daniels, or were you all in on Jayden Daniels?
The one thing I didn't know was I just did not want JJ McCarthy. For a good amount of time, it was between Drake May and Jayden Daniels, but Jayden Daniels' run threat ability was just something that I just couldn't overlook. And I'm happy that we took him at 2. Obviously, it would have been nice to get Caleb Williams, hometown kid. But the last time we drafted a hometown kid didn't turn out so well. So I'm happy with the pick. And that preseason game number 1 just brought a smile to my face when he completed that 40-yard bomb to De'Ami Brown on the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, definitely was exciting. For me, it was bittersweet because they did exactly what I wanted them to, was to go right in, get a drive, score, get out of there. But at the same time, it was so short-lived that I wanted to see more. And I'm hoping, we get to see more, but at the same time, I understand if we don't because it's only preseason. But to kind of go off of Jayden Daniels, because we're going to talk about him all night, who are some other guys that maybe no one's really talking about or paying attention to that was really good in Saturday's performance, or who stood out to you?
I guess one guy that I was at least watching when it came to special teams, I don't know if his first name is Tyler or Tyler Owens.
Yeah,
I forgot what number he was, but he was tackling machine out there, had some nice tackles, solo tackles, and also with the new kickoff rule, that's going to be huge. We can't have our special teams be a bottom 10 unit because, coaches out there scheming to find a way to have long gains on the kickoff returns or even touchdowns rather. That was one guy that I was looking at, man. Ben Sinnott, I thought I was when that one play when he dragged defenders on his back, it reminded me of Chris Cooley, bro. Mm-hmm. And everyone's saying that on social media, so that was great to see. Who else? Frankie Louvu was flying around a lot. Not crazy plays, but it was just good to see him fly around because, again, the linebacking core has been so abysmal for so long. And I think that's pretty much it, at least if I'm not missing anybody. But overall, like a lot of positives from this game more than negatives.
Yeah.
And obviously the negative, Emmanuel Forbes, we'll talk about that later. But it's so frustrating, Juan, because like time and time and again, I remember last year, even before week one, or I think it was week 1, week 2, week 3, like everyone was coming at me saying that Gonzalez, like he wasn't the right pick. Give Forbes some time, and then it sucks, man, because like again, like time. And hopefully that was the last pick where we say like, yeah, what the heck was the regime doing? I think with this new draft class, especially if they hit home run with Brandon Coleman, Sinastro, and Jayden Daniels, like I'm gonna have so much more confidence in the next couple drafts.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely with you on that one, man. I get it every day. Every day I talk about Emmanuel Forbes. I get the comments. I get the feedback on that. Oh, give him time. He's still young. He still has time to learn. His fan base doesn't know what they're talking about. But then I do have a couple people that came around, right? A couple people last year giving me the business because I said I didn't like the Emmanuel Forbes pick. But now they're coming around to the fact that okay, this guy may not be that good. I think it's more of us upset that they didn't take Christian Gonzalez, who is going to be a really good corner, than it really is Forbes itself. Like, I'm not telling you Forbes is good. Like, he has been trash, but I think he's also getting, like, the business because we're upset that they didn't take Christian Gonzalez. So he's already getting the business because he's bad, but he's getting it way worse because of who we could have or / should have had last year. And I want him to be good. I'm pretty sure you want him to be good.
Yeah.
We don't see it. I don't see it. People are trying to defend that play. Last Saturday, I am telling you right now, as I speak to you, he could have defended that better. Yes, I understand 100%. That was a good ball by the quarterback. Emmanuel Forbes, watch that clip and solely focus on just those two. Mano y mano. Forbes bailed immediately and still got burned. He bailed. What am I going to do right there? I said this earlier. You have a 5-yard grace period. Correct me if I'm wrong. You have a 5-yard grace period where you can get your hands on the receiver. After those 5 yards, you need to let go, or they're going to call you for pass interference or illegal contact. You have 5 yards to touch him up. He didn't do any of that. He didn't try to disrupt the route to make the quarterback look elsewhere. He didn't do anything to disrupt the timing, get his hands up, nothing of the sort to knock the wide receiver off of his route. He just straight up got burnt on a fade route at that. It wasn't even like it was a pure 9, right? It was a fade route at that. And he bailed immediately, and he still let the guy get over top of him. So that's my frustration with that play specifically. I'm not taking no credit away from the guy that caught the ball or the quarterback that threw the ball. I'm telling you, Emmanuel Forbes could have been better and could have defended that play much more better than what he did. And if I would have saw him kind of touch up the receiver or something, and he still caught the ball and still made a good play, I was like, okay, Forbes, good job. You tried. That was a good play. But I'm telling you guys, like, I didn't see none of that. I just seen pure lack of technique. And the guy just beat him off the line and scored a touchdown. Abdullah, give me your assessment on that play. Do you see where I'm coming from, or do you have kind of like a different opinion or view on that specific play? Take me to your brain.
Oh man, you hit the nail in the coffin. There's legitimately no excuse considering the fact that it wasn't even Garrett Wilson, it wasn't even the second string, it was a third string wide receiver. And how, as fans, are we supposed to be confident when Emmanuel Forbes is going to go up against the Malik Neighbors of the world now, the AJ Browns of the world, the CD Lambs of the world? Hopefully, he doesn't get paid and go somewhere else. But how are we supposed to be confident? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And I know that this is Joe Witt's team or defense now with Dan Quinn, and they helped the development of Deron Bland, Trevon Diggs. Trevon Diggs was terrible his rookie year, became a ball hawk. But it's just, how are we supposed to have confidence in a dude who's just time and again is just getting burned? It was nice to see he put on muscle, but that, like, in the preseason, dude, and he had that one nice pass breakup earlier in the game, but a touchdown where clearly it's just like too slow, 5-yard thing. Like, it's just, how are we supposed to have confidence if you can't do it against like the backups, you know? And when you go up against the starters, I mean, we saw what happened last year. AJ Brown gave him the work, CD Lamb, DJ Moore, all these guys, they were struggling. And this year, if it's worse than last year, which I don't think is possible, but this is just major cause of concern. Hopefully the last mistake from the Rivera regime.
Yeah, I mean, and then to quickly harp on the Rivera regime, because I don't want to do that much more, but if you really want to talk about it, this man went 0 for 4 in the first round. Chase Young, trash. He's a bust. Jamin Davis, mid. If you redraft him, he's probably going in the third round. Jahan Dotson, we should have took Kyle Hamilton. We had the opportunity to take Kyle Hamilton if we don't do that trade, or we could have took Chris Olave ourselves. We took Jahan Dotson, and I like Jahan, but I also, again, made a video yesterday how I feel like this regime may not think highly of him. They may think De'Ami Brown is better than him based off of what I saw Saturday. He caught a pass, but he bobbled it. Confidence he looks a little shot. He was in there the longest out of all the quote-unquote starters into the late stages of the second quarter, and everyone else was out of there. Even to me, Jahan Dotson is kind of questionable. It's a big year for him, too. So right now, that's a question mark. And then I'm already saying it here that I believe Emmanuel Forbes is not good. So Ron Rivera really went 0 for 4 in drafts in the first round and probably like 4 for 80 in total drafts, in the total 4 drafts. Because the guy, I can only name a handful of guys that I think actually were good draft picks. Cam Curl, Sam Cosmi, Brian Robinson. Who else?
At that point, let the fans draft, bro.
That's what I'm saying. In 4 years of you being the head coach of this football team, you were able to get 3 players that actually were good. And I like Sam Howell, but that's not his work, right? That's going to eventually turn into Seattle Seahawks work, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So that was just bad. He set us up. And now we're, like you said, hopefully done with that, but we're still stuck with dealing with the repercussions because he's still here. I don't want Emmanuel Forbes to be trashed. I don't want to come up here constantly talking about Emmanuel Forbes in this light. I would love to come up here. Sure, I'm sure Dula would be the same. I would love to come up here and talk about how he's making these crazy interceptions. He's doing this. He's shutting down this team's best corner. I would love that, and I'm sure you would too. But it's that it gets to a point, chat. It gets to a point that this kid, I'm calling him a kid like he's not older than me, but this guy is not starter cornerback in this league.
I don't know if he's backup, bro. I'm gonna be honest. It's just, and I hate hitting on the dude. I want him to succeed. Like if it's your favorite team and you want to see this guy like be bad, that's a whole different story. But I want him to be good, and he's not even average at most. I know like it's so much pressure on him, but still like first round pick right before Christian Gonzalez. It's similar to the Jalen Reagor, Justin Jefferson situation. I said that, and people were saying you're crazy. It's too early. Like again, like I didn't want to be right, which sucks. But look, it's just and going back to Ron Rivera, we could have also had a former Hokie Christian Darrisaw left tackle who's an All-Pro, just got paid. That would have been awesome. But yeah. I hate talking about Rivera, bro. I think within like a year or maybe 2 years, like the repercussions of these players drafted, hopefully will be all washed out, and like all the guys in the building will be from Peters and Quinn. And
definitely. I understand. Next thing I want to talk about is the kicking game. The reason why I brought them up so early was because we're already kind of on like a bad get the bad taste out your mouth from Saturday's game, or like kind of like talking bad about what happened. So I felt like it's better to get it out now than to start talking about Jayden Daniels or some of these backups that were good, and then we get back to the kicking. So I feel like we got to get it all out the way. Kicking is trash. I think it's going to be an issue. I'm hoping that when these guys get cut from some of these teams around the league that we can maybe come up on a gym, but I don't think that's the case. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I think we're going to be in a situation where we're back in 2021 with Chris Blewett, a slew of other kickers that were trash. And it was really due to all of Brandon McManus' situation. But really, in my opinion, I think I would have kept Joey Slott. Joey Slott wasn't the best, but he had a strong leg. These kids can't even kick a 40-yarder. Like, I don't know if you saw the field goal kicker, but Riley Patterson, he missed a 39-yarder. He clanked it. And Ramiz Ahmad, or Ahmad Ramiz, whatever his name is, he barely made a 40-yard field goal. Like, it was like that was all in his leg. How are you with the kicking situation? And are you confident that we can figure out something this late into the technically offseason and the start of the season?
It's kind of funny how we always talk about the quarterback position being a concern, but it's the kicker position's right up there. I mean, from the beginning of time, the Grant Ganoes, the Billy Cundiffs, the Kai Forbaths, the Dustin Hopkins, the Chris Blewett, Brian Johnson, who had that game winner against the Raiders in 2021. So many kickers just in and out. And I don't know, man. That Jets game, just again, no confidence. Like you said, I would have kept Joey Sly, BT Hokey bias aside. He had a leg, and obviously, like, the inaccuracy was concerning, but he did have a leg. Will, like, they figure it out? I don't know. I mean, it was just crazy how the guy that they signed from the Jaguars that got cut because of the whole sexual harassment thing that happened in Jacksonville it's just insane, bro. And I generally don't know who can they get last second, but if it comes down, because there's going to be games this season where it's going to come down to our special teams and our kicker to make crunch time field goals, and hopefully Dan Quinn can figure out a guy that can just be there from week to week and just make, like, if you're a kicker in the NFL, sub 40 should be automatic. Obviously, like, for us, that's not the case, but sub 40 should be automatic. Extra points should be automatic, and that's all we're asking for, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I get that, and that's where I'm in a situation where I'm like, man, I wish we would have kept Joey Sly, because I mean, he wasn't the most accurate, but I know Joey could kick it from 57 with room to spare. That thing would have been good from 61. Like, we're in a situation where we have two kickers that can't kick past 40, so that's not good. That's really not good. Hell, PATs are tough these days now, and you expect me to believe that one of these guys can go out there and kick a game winner? Like, imagine, right? And I'm hoping this doesn't happen, so I'm going to knock on some wood. But just imagine we're in a close game. It's a minute and some change left, and it's tie game. Let's say it's 24-24. Defense, they get a stop on fourth down, and Jayden Daniels has an opportunity to walk it off, lead the team to a walk-off victory. He does it. He gets us in position. And because your kicker doesn't have – it's one thing to not be accurate. It's one thing to be on the mark, but slightly to the left or right. But it's – imagine your kicker don't have enough leg strength to get it even close. That's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm like, I think we're stuck in this because it's late. Some of these guys that are going to get cut here soon, like, I believe there's a handful of great kickers in this league. Alex McPherson, Justin Tucker, Harrison Buckner, Daniel Carlson, and a couple of Chris Boswell. There's a couple other guys, but for the most part, there are teams in this league that has average to solid kickers. So it's kind of like, if you're not getting cut from a team that has a solidified kicker, how do I know that? Why would I take a chance on you if you just didn't even make it out of training camp with a team that didn't have a solidified kicker? You get what I'm kind of saying here, like. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm just not confident in the kicking ability. Now, you brought up special teams with Tyler Owens making a play. Now I'm on kicker. How do you feel about the old special teams unit? Because I don't know if you've been paying attention to the training camp notes, but special teams has been an issue, and I think it kind of transpired into the preseason game because the Jets did have a couple good returns. So how do you feel about the special teams unit as a whole? Trustway did make good tackles, so I guess I'll point that out too.
Man, Trustway, like, that's one guy that we can always depend on, whether it's making a tackle or a nice punt. But it is a cause of concern because, again, like, outside of field goals, also like giving up chunks of punt returns, kickoff returns. It's very concerning, putting our defense in very, like, tight situations. So I'm very concerned about it. But again, this new coaching staff, I definitely have more confidence in them compared to, like, coaches that we've had in the past, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and all right, let's go ahead and I want to talk about this guy specifically before we get into Jayden Daniels. I know y'all shout out to the 18 in here. Like, I know y'all probably waiting for me to get to Jayden, but I kind of want to, like, set the table first to talk about a guy that kind of showed something that really hasn't been talked about. Let's talk about Michael Wiley, the running back from Arizona, the undrafted free agent. See, before the season started, I said I believe Washington's going to keep 3 running backs. But those 3 running backs for me was Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson, and Chris Rodriguez. But after Saturday's performance, I'm not so sure that Chris Rodriguez's spot is just locked on here because he didn't do anything that I've seen that stood out in the game Saturday. But Michael Wiley and McNicholson, they both did look really good. especially Wiley. I think he had like 8 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown. I don't know. I'm not saying, but Michael Wiley could potentially be that third running back on this roster. Have you get a chance to check him out? And what are your early impressions on Michael Wiley if you had?
Now, that touchdown, that was a good sight to see. I will say, though, like I agree with you that Chris Rodriguez's running back 3 spot is not locked in, considering the fact that Austin Eckler is a little up there in age. So if he goes down and he dealt with injury last year, Ryan Robinson's up. Maybe Michael Wiley might be that guy to play that running back 2 position. Because Chris Rodriguez, I remember, I think it was last year where he would fumble in the preseason against the Ravens, I remember. So like a kind of Antonio Gibson situation. So these next 2 preseason games, I think it's going to be key to see how the running back battle shifts. Obviously, I think McNichols is on the outside looking in. Wiley could potentially take that running back 3 position away from Chris Rodriguez, but also they might give Chris Rodriguez the edge just because he was here longer. So it really depends. That's why watching the preseason is crucial to see how these guys perform out there.
Yeah, no, definitely for sure. A guy like Michael Wiley, you brought up Tyler Owens. I want to say Ben Sinnott was really good. Bryson Tremaine high pointed the ball. Jeff Driscoll, who honestly, yeah, you go ahead. You can speak.
Casimir Allen, he's shifty, man.
Yeah. He definitely had a good play because I remember I saw the play, and I'm like, okay, Kaz, he hurdled the guy. And then I looked away and I looked back and I'm like, what the heck? I thought it would be 1st and 10, but it wasn't. So it got called back. And I'm just like, dang, like Kaz Allen, that was really a good play by him. And I believe a big way that he makes his roster. Last year, he was the biggest hype coming out of training camp. And then he kind of just pooped his pants when it comes to the special team unit. And that's his way of making this roster. But I mean, I don't know. Because you look at it, Kaz Allen's that gadget guy. But maybe we do need a shifty back because we had Brian Robinson kind of do the bulldozer. Austin Eckler, he's a pass catcher, but he's also a kind of a bigger running back. Maybe this Kaz Allen is that shifty back to be that change of pace that we need. I don't know. That's interesting. We haven't had like a change of pace back since J.D. McKissick. So maybe I don't know. That's interesting. I'm glad you brought up Kaz Allen, but I wanted to talk more about Bryson Tremaine and Jeff Driscoll. Jeff Driscoll's a guy that a lot of people take a liking to. And not to say Marcus Mariota shouldn't be the number 2 quarterback on this roster, but it kind of makes me interested. Like, are they going to keep 3 quarterbacks or are they going to go 2? Because I believe on game days you can now bring up an emergency quarterback. So it's not like a need to keep 3. But I want to get your takes on what you saw from Jeff Driscoll. Do you think he makes this roster? Would you keep him around? And also, you can add on Sam Hartman if you like. Or even, hey, you know what? The whole quarterback, everyone you saw, from JD all the way down to Sam Hartman.
As good or at least a decent Jeff Driscoll looked, for me, like I just feel like since he's a veteran and we kind of know his like peak, I would like to see Sam Hartman get more reps than Mariota and Driscoll. I mean, Mariota, we've seen he's a veteran journeyman. You know, obviously, like running offense, he can be adequate in. But I wouldn't be surprised if they keep all 4. But it would be I wouldn't be surprised if they cut 1. But it'll be interesting if they keep all 4. And I think Mariota only had like 1 throw, I think, in the preseason game. So again, these next 2 preseason games are just pretty essential to see like how our quarterback room will look like. Obviously, Jayden Daniels is the number 1 quarterback. There's no question there. But it's just Sam Hartman's got like that nice swag to him, which is kind of cool too. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out against Miami this week.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Stephen. He says, bro got a beard now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My man Abdullah didn't growing up. I'm telling you, I remember the baby face, man. He got sports. 2019, like that year, man. That was a long time ago. But shout out to my man Philip B with the donation. My guy Philip B always supporting, always helping out, and always giving me some great advice. My guy Philip B, thank you so much. He says, appreciate the stream on Twitch One. I can't always get the games. Thank you so much, Philip B, for the donation. And as you heard, my man, I am on Twitch now for the last 4 years. And 2020 was really my big year when it came to streaming the games. But the last 4 years on YouTube, I was doing play-by-play here. But now I'm like, let me try something a little bit different. So that way this year I am doing the play-by-plays, the games, streaming the games over on Twitch. It's free, just like YouTube. You can follow me over on Twitch at ChewyIRL_. And since Philip B already led the way with the donation and bringing it up, I might as well take time to promote it. What's up, y'all? It's your man Juan Gotti here, jumping in to interrupt the video for a second. I am going to be live streaming the game starting tomorrow when we face the New York Jets in the opener preseason. I'm going to be live on Twitch at ChewyIRL. The link is down below in the description and in the pinned comment. So please follow me on Twitch and come watch the games with me over there. So don't freak out and be like, Juan's not streaming no more. I am. I'm just over on Twitch where we can be much more free and much more our authentic self. And then throughout the week, we're going to be playing games, doing IRL stuff, and just having a good time. And then when weekends come, we're live over there for the Washington Commanders game starting tomorrow at 12 p.m. So follow me on Twitch, ChewyIRL. And then secondly, join Juan Gotti's Talking Sports Discord server. We already have a couple of people in here now. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be where we get to be fun, have fun, talk about the Commanders, share funny, crazy videos. You guys know who Caston that is, the biggest streamer in the world. All right. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you for tuning in to Juan Gotti and my man Abdullah representing DMV Sports Zone. But yeah, go ahead, follow the Twitch and join the Discord. Links are down below in the description. All right, so Abdullah, I want to talk a little bit about finally getting to the topic at hand. We talked about how JD only had one drive, Marcus Mariota only had one drive. Then after that, it was the Jeff Driscoll show, Sam Hartman, then he got hurt, and then Jeff Driscoll show again. Do you think we need to see more of Jayden Daniels in this preseason game? Will you see more of Jayden Daniels in this preseason game? Or do you think, nah, that was enough, he's good to the regular season, let him just chill out until we get to September 9th versus the Bucs?
I think it's a good question. If we do see him more, I hope it's not a lot of read option plays because that's pretty scary. I think Cliff just pulled that out once and just is going to keep it under wraps, at least for the next 2 preseason games. But I still would like to see him air it out. I think that first pass he had was a screenplay that like completely overthrew Austin Eckler and came back and changed the play and just nice sideline throw to De'Ami Brown. So I would like to see more of him, but again, like even if it's just simple handoffs, like that's fine. Like I just don't want to see him run and potentially see him get hurt before the regular season game against the Bucs.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely want to see more. That one drive left me salivating. Like I wanted to see more because it was just like, man, it was so fast. They were in and out. They did what they were supposed to do. But I was just like, man, can September 9th hurry up and get here, bro? Because I'm trying to see my dog play in the whole game. I think what else kind of threw me off for a loop was that Marcus Mariota only got one drive. Like, I knew Jayden Daniels probably was going to get one drive, but Marcus Mariota only getting one drive kind of was like, that's a little bit surprising. So I don't know if that's just their style of preseason coaching or if they kind of want to ramp them up. So, like, this game was one drive. Then the next game will be one quarter or maybe one half. I think it's going to be more so one quarter. And then maybe the third game is where they chill, or since it's now a week before it's a week break till we get to the regular season, that maybe that third preseason game he also gets another quarter or maybe 2. I'm not sure how they do it. It's very interesting to see what they plan on doing this Saturday, but I definitely think he should get at least the whole quarter this Saturday versus the Miami Dolphins, just to let him get some more opportunities to work. And yeah, I definitely agree with you. I'd rather just see him be vanilla, drop back the pass, and if he doesn't pass, hand it off or whatever, and just going about our day. I do want to talk about the big pass day. We talked about it, like we talked about what happened, but we didn't talk about it. Did you know he changed that play at the line of scrimmage?
I saw it. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're all good. Go ahead. What you want to say?
I saw it on social media, which honestly gave me so much confidence. Like, that's a rookie quarterback in his first preseason game doing that. That's like amazing to see.
Yeah, no, definitely for sure, and that's why I was just gonna get at. Like I thought he was like hyped. He was pointing over there just because he was like, y'all saw that man, nice good play. But then when Austin Eckler came out and it was like, oh yeah, y'all know he changed at the line of scrimmage. He recognized something and changed it. I was like, okay, that's why you did that. That's why you moved like that, and that's why you were so pretty excited. And I get Dan Quinn was in the press conference and he kind of was like he was wishing that Jayden Daniels kind of was would have stuck to the script and would have kind of just went about it in that aspect, the scripted plays that we have for that drive. But I also was just like, I get you, Dan, but showing having a quarterback like Jayden Daniels, not comparing him to Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, but when you have a star quarterback on your hands, a Heisman Trophy winner, sometimes you gotta let him go out there and do his thing, let him free form. You don't see Andy Reid getting upset at Patrick Mahomes if he goes out there and changes the play at the line of scrimmage, or he sees something that he didn't see and he changed the play, or he goes free form and stuff like that. So I do get him, like he wanted them to stay on script, but I do like that he recognized that the play was that he saw had a better play. He wanted to change the audible, the target, the matchup that De'Ami Brown was having. And I'm really excited about it. Again, it shows maturity. It shows that he's ready. It shows that he is the guy of the future. And he's a Heisman Trophy winner. Literally the best quarterback in college football last year. So I don't even expect nothing less. Like, I expect him to be ready. I expect him to obviously have his ups and downs, but to come in and lead this team. Um, I want to talk more about De'Ami Brown. He's a guy that quickly is starting to grow on people again. Like, I remember he soured on a lot of people, including myself. I'll be first to tell you, like, De'Ami Brown soured on me because I'm like, one, he's not getting a lot of opportunities, so I don't know if that's just this regime. And then two, when he gets his chances, he don't really make nothing of it. De'Ami Brown's a guy that always works hard, trains hard, but it never translates to the field. This season, it feels like it's going to be a little bit different. It went from, oh, De'Ami Brown may not make this roster, to De'Ami Brown may be the second wide receiver behind Terry McLaurin. What is your overall thoughts on De'Ami Brown, and how do you see him panning out this season?
So, like you said, like a practice demon. Every year, we somehow finds the manage to get on this roster, and we've seen flashes of Diami. That 2-touchdown game against Tennessee last year, that nice catch and run against Seattle for a touchdown, and even that preseason game was a nice catch. It was very tight coverage. So obviously, I have the confidence of him being on this roster. Wide receiver 2, it's a whole different discussion. But if the coaching staff is so confident in that, then I was telling my friends this, then they should legitimately try to trade Jahan Dotson with a draft pick and try to get Brandon Ayuk. Because I don't know if you saw they wanted the Niners wanted Amari Cooper for the trade, and I feel like there's a reason why I think Adam Peters is not doing that, because they probably wanted Terry McLaurin. But if they somehow can get back with San Fran and say, hey, we can give you Jahan and I don't know, maybe a second or third and maybe some more capital compensation. I don't know. Obviously, it sucks because I wanted Jahan Dotson to succeed. He was a first-round pick. But if they have that much confidence in De'Ami Brown finally breaking out, then I don't see why not. And they also have Luke McCaffrey, too.
Yeah, that's a good point. Guys, leave it down below in the comment section. 17 people in here. Appreciate y'all for coming. Would y'all want to see Jahan Dotson be traded for Brandon Ayuk? I kind of honestly gave up on the Brandon Ayuk thing when I first saw that it was a rumor that he was signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I kind of gave up on the thought of him being traded here to Washington. I think he's going to end up getting something worked out with the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
But, guys, leave it down below in the comment section. Would you trade Jahan Dotson for Brandon Ayuk? And Abdullah, so what would be your full trade proposal? We know the 49ers is giving up Brandon Ayuk. But what would you give up for Washington?
So for sure I'm not giving up Terry. If they ask for Terry, then that's it. If they only want Terry, then that's it. But if they wouldn't take Jahan, maybe a second and a fifth. I don't know if that's enough to be. I forgot what was the trade package of what was it what they wanted from Cleveland, but they know that Brandon Ayuk does not want to be in or he wants to get paid rather. And it's just so much controversy. I just don't know if it's worth it to even stay in San Fran at this point, because he's going back and forth and back and forth. And the whole podcast and playing with Jayden Daniels and how they're butt buddies, which at one point was a little bit concerning, but that's besides the point. But no, Jahan third. I mean, I wish we could trade Emmanuel Forbes, but I mean, for even a bag of spicy Doritos, like I don't think that's even worth it. So Jahan definitely in the second round pick. I'll probably start there, and whatever they want after that, that's like a whole different discussion. But I think that I like you said, like I think he's going to Pittsburgh just because like they're an organization that they want to help out Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, and they want to win now because they have some nice pieces. So it just wouldn't make sense to trade for Brandon Ayuk, and obviously in the Niners situation, you trade him to the AFC rather than have him still be in the NFC.
Yeah. I think I'm good off him. I think I am. With a guy like Luke McCaffrey climbing the ranks, a guy like Alameda Zacchaeus, he showed me some flashes Saturday. I don't know if there are guys that can help in the long run, but at least this year I'm cool. Like if next year, if he eventually signs that franchise tag, which I don't think he's going to, um, I'm cool off him unless he becomes a free agent next offseason. Like right now, I don't see it happening, and right now I wouldn't even do it no more. I don't see no reason for us to do it. I like what I saw from our wide receiving core, even though with the bringing in of Martavis Bryant, I don't know if they believe that. So I am interested next year if he's a free agent,
Okay.
not now. But speaking of Martavis Bryant, we did bring him in for a workout. How do you feel about that? He's 32, hasn't played since 2018. Are you interested in that?
Right now, I want a big body receiver because all of our receivers are like 6'1" and shorter. Like Cam Sims, I know it's a fever dream, but my brother is a free agent. They need to bring him back because that guy was underutilized. You know, if you're a real Washington fan, you remember Cam Sims, how much of OG he was. But I mean Martavis Bryant, like obviously like I'm not opposed to it, but I'm just like so excited. I heard Hunter Renfrow was a free agent, but again, just throwing names out there. I generally think we need a big body receiver. Maybe Bryson Tremaine is that guy, but Martavis Bryant, anything that scares or gets me excited. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get you, man. I 100% get you. I definitely want a big body receiver. We haven't had that since Cam Sims. I felt like we underutilized Cam Sims when he was here, but every time Cam Sims got the ball, he made a play. So I get you. Terry McLaurin's 6 foot. Luke McCaffrey's probably no taller than 6'1". Jahan Dotson's 5'11". Lamine Zacchaeus maybe 6 foot 6'1" at tops. Deami's 6 foot 6'1", maybe 6'2". We don't have a big body. And that's why I want Bryson Tremaine to make this roster. And I think he's going to make this roster. I do. Because if you look at it, it's Terry, it's Deami, Alameda, Jahan, Luke, and it's one more. I think that one spot is Bryson Tremaine. Who else gives
Not
you
Casimir Allen?
Nah, I don't think Kaz makes it. If he makes it, it's gonna have to be third running back. That's his that's his better chance of making the roster is that third running back than it is receiver. Because can't think about it, Kaz Allen is fitting the criteria that we don't need. He's a small, kind of built wide receiver / gadget player. We already have enough of those.
Mm-hmm.
So if he wants to make this roster, it'll probably be the third running back, which I think it's much open than the sixth final wide receiver spot. Because again, outside of Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler, who else is really locked up that third position? Nobody. The guy that I thought locked it up in Chris Rodriguez, in my opinion, I don't think he's really all that anymore. I was a big fan of C-Rob, but like I'm not really sure. I look at Michael Wiley and I'm like, hold on. Kind of like giving him the side. I like, oh, do I need to be paying attention to you? You know? So that's interesting. Bryson Tremaine 6'5", Luke McCaffrey 6'2", our tallest wide receiver. Yeah, so Bryson Tremaine would definitely be a big help. Big help. Let's see who else can I think of for to talk about? We could talk a little bit. I want to say about the offensive line. I really don't know because we were missing so many starters that game.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we can kind of talk about the backups who kind of impressed you. Who'd you see? Is there anybody on the offensive line that kind of stood out to you?
Well, often did they give up any sacks? I don't remember honestly.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. Someone in the comments let us know. Did they give up any sacks in the game? I didn't see none of our quarterbacks take a hit. I know we had some penalty flags that we caused, but sacks, I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I will say though, like every other year, the offensive line, if this offense is somewhat below average, that's probably the main reason why. I think this offseason coming up, they need to draft a young guy, whether it's, I don't know if they want another guard or maybe a tackle. I'm confident in Brandon Coleman, but the Andrew Wiley, not a big fan of. The guy they got, Nick Garriott, I think that's his name, from Kansas City, not bad. And Tyler Biadasz from the Cowboys, way better than Nick Gates, in my opinion. So I think definitely this offseason coming up, they need to upgrade the offensive line.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking at it like I want to find our franchise left tackle, but they think Brandon Coleman is that, and he's dealing with a little bit of an injury right now. So I'm hoping that it's that, but I do understand that we need some depth behind them because it's Cornelius Lucas, it's Trenton Scott. But, like, are you really comfortable with Trenton Scott? I'm comfortable with Cole Luke, but Trenton Scott, because Cole Luke has to play left and right tackle. So, like, we do need to draft more offensive linemen. Interior-wise, I'm fine with interior. I feel like that's locked down. From guards to center to guard, we're good. But it's really the tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Wiley, we're hoping that he's ready for a bounce-back year, and hopefully he can pan out. Because last year he wasn't that bad. He was bad. And then left tackle, they believe Brandon Coleman is the left tackle of the future. Did you get out the training camp this year?
No, it was too hot, bro. I couldn't.
Yeah, I get you. I was gonna ask, do you see what they see in Brandon Coleman to make them feel like he is the left tackle? Because think about it like this. I'm pretty sure they could have added more to the tackle position or the offensive line position as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But they seem to really like Brandon Coleman. They really like Andrew Wiley. They really like Trent Scott. They really like Cornelius Lucas and what they have because they really do nothing besides adding Brandon Coleman to this mix. Do you see why they believe in him, and how confident are you in him able to go out there day one as the left tackle?
I'll probably give like a 7 out of 10, considering the fact that I didn't really see him in the preseason. So but the fact that this regime, it's a guy that they drafted, and he's a young guy, and obviously it's been a while since we have like a really good left tackle. We had one for a while, but obviously we botched that. Now he's in San Fran, but I'm pretty confident in it. And also considering the fact that Jayden Daniels is a mobile quarterback, I think he can somewhat help out or like somewhat like overlook the flaws that we have in this offensive line. Not saying that the offensive line can be really bad and we can still be good, but even at average offensive line or a little bit below average, I think as long as Jayden Daniels can find a way to get out of the pocket, he's super, super fast. We saw that training camp clip that went viral. I think we'll be all right. But again, I'm still concerned about Andrew Wiley. I'm pretty confident in Brandon Coleman and Tyler Biadasz. So, like you said, the interior lineman too. So we'll see. But again, if it's one unit that's holding back this group in the offense, I think it's that. I think wide receiver, running back, and every other position, I think we're fine.
Okay. Let's answer some questions here. Let's read some of the comments. So if you guys, 23 people in here, please like the stream up. We'll go for probably like 10, 15 more minutes, and we'll get out of here. If you guys have any questions for me or Dula, leave it down below in the comment section. So this is the time to ask anything regarding the team because I'm going to be looking for the questions. Let's go ahead and start with my man Philip B. He says the tight end rookie looked really good. It would be cool to see Luke McCaffrey if Luke McCaffrey can play running back. Yeah, they tried him at minicamp. I'm not sure if that was like a legit thing or if they were just trolling right there. But yeah, that's interesting. The tight end Ben Sinnott did look really good. How confident are you in Ben Sinnott's ability to be the tight end one? Do you think the future is bright with Ben Sinnott?
I think just that play alone, that catch and run, it gave me a lot of confidence. But again, I will have to see in the Dolphins game, the next preseason game, just to lock it. I just think like he's a dog, and if his ability to pass catch is almost as good as run blocking, then he surpasses Cole Turner and John Bates. I mean, John Bates, his hands is just, oh.
Yeah, no, I definitely get you. That pass across the middle made me was like, hold on, that looks a little bit, Jordan Reed, Chris Cooley, hell, even Kyle Juszczyk, like right there, like that George Kittle-ish, like cross the middle of the catch and run, the breaking tackles. Like I'm like, okay, hold on now. I talked highly about you. I really liked you. You was one of my favorite draft picks. Hold on, let me find out we really got us one, because, and I'll die on this hill. I believe Jordan Reed didn't get hurt, he would have been better than Travis Kelce. Not better. Let me say not better than Travis Kelce. He would have been up there in the conversation with Travis Kelce and George Kittle and the Lions tight end. His name stuck in my mind for whatever reason.
TJ Hawkinson?
No, the new
Sam
one.
Laporta?
Sam Laporta.
Mm-hmm.
All these young guys that are really good, or all these veterans that are really good, I feel like Jordan Reed would have been in a discussion. And we haven't had a guy since Jordan Reed, really. So,
because Jordan was unguardable, like one-on-one. Like everyone was having trouble guarding him.
Everyone likes Kyle Pitts, Darren Waller, but that was Kyle Pitts and Darren Waller before Kyle Pitts and Darren Waller. Like, Jordan Reed was a receiver playing tight end, and he was unguardable, hands galore, just got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely feel like Ben Sinnott is that guy that is going to transcend the tight end position for us. He looks up to Sam Laporta, and Sam Laporta has been nothing but amazing for the Lions. So I definitely am excited about that. Shout out to Murphy B. Ern says, how worried is everyone about Forbes? I am not confident. You can go ahead and do a start with that. Even though we talked about it to start off the show, my man asked the question. And continue to ask questions, guys. This is the time for you to take over the show. How confident are you in or how worried are you about Forbes?
I'll tell you this much: if he continues these next two preseason games to give up touchdowns or get burned by second stringers or even third stringers, I literally am so very, very concerned. Like, the panic button's basically pressed. Because again, week one, come against the Buccaneers when he has to go up against Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. I mean, oh God, they are really banging on Emmanuel Forbes at a bounce back year. I'm really confident Mike Sinestro. Ben St. Juste at 2 isn't that bad. At cornerback 2 isn't that bad, but Emmanuel Forbes is really put up or shut up, because if this year there is zero improvement, that I don't see him being on the roster next year, and it's a complete waste of a first-round pick.
Yeah, no, definitely, I get you. I'm not confident in him at all. I don't think he is good. I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Oh, let me ask you this one. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
The DB, do you think we should sign Stephon Gilmore or add a veteran, or it's not even worth it considering the fact that we have Michael Davis?
I think we should have signed Stephon Gilmore. I've been banging the table for Stephon Gilmore. Excuse me. I want him. I just don't think he wants us.
That makes sense.
I want Stephon Gilmore. I want us to get him. Because our quarterback room is pretty, if you ask me. Outside of Mike Sanders still and a healthy BSJ, I'm not confident in this cornerback room.
Well, Quan Martin's in the spot, right?
Mike Sanders still is going to be in a slot. Quan is probably going to be more so safety than anything else. So yeah, I would sign Stephon Gilmore. What about you? I'm going to go grab a Waters in a second.
Yeah, like you said, like I'm just like not confident in the DB room at all. I just think it would make sense to sign a veteran like Stephon Gilmore, but if he doesn't want to come here for whatever reason, well, not for whatever reason, because clearly in the past players don't want to come to Washington, then it makes sense. But yeah, the secondary, at least from the DB room, I'm confident in Jeremy Chin. I haven't seen a lot of Derek Forrest for some reason, at least in training camp. I think he played a little in the preseason. And Quan Martin. The edge rusher position is kind of interesting. I saw Hassan Reddick today was asking for a trade, considering the fact that he just got traded to the Jets. So he probably does want a lot of money, but depending on how much he wants, if I'm Adam Peters, I would at least try to consider to see what the Jets would want for him. Hassan Reddick would be a huge boost because obviously losing Chase Young and Montez Sweat sucks. I was talking about how we could potentially trade for Hassan Reddick, even though he probably won't get traded and get his money. Like, do you think that's a possibility or no?
Nah, I don't think we're looking at it, and I'll tell you why. We don't have that dog that Chase Young or Montez Sweat was supposed to be. Like, we don't have that dog like potential. But what we do have, and something that has stuck with me ever since I heard Warren Sapp say it, is a unit and rushing as one. We have a bunch of guys that are willing to work together, and that is just as good as having a guy that's with one-on-one just taking over a game. Dorrance Armstrong, Cleveland Ferrell,
KJ Henry.
KJ Henry's a name that you can throw in there. Dante Fowler. And we just have stuff. Then you have Frankie Louisville rushing off the edge in some packages. You have who actually won. Yep, you have Jamin Davis. But Frankie Louisville, who's more of a pass covering linebacker, he actually won in his rush this past Saturday. So I would like Hassan Reddick. We don't need him. We don't need him. We have a bunch of guys that are already working together, and I think that's good, especially in this scheme. I think we're fine. Would you?
It would be nice though. It would be a nice addition.
I think you already pretty much said you would. But, I didn't hear it. But would you do that? And what would you be willing to give up? Because you still have to pay him.
How much money does he even want? It's so funny because he literally just got traded to the Jets too, and I know the Jets announced on social media that we're not trading him. We're gonna, I think, eventually pay him. I don't know, but if he does want a lot of money, and considering the fact that I think he's almost 30, I'd be kind of hesitant to give him that much money. But he's proven like 10 plus sacks this season. I mean, he's a baller. He was a baller in Philadelphia.
No, without a question. That was my thing. Like, no one wants to love Hassan Reddick. In Carolina, he was a baller. Philly, Arizona. He was a baller. Arizona, he was a baller. Like, wherever Hassan Reddick goes, he's cooked. And no one seems to want to take care of him.
And I think the Eagles got like, what, a third-round pick for him? So if that's Howie Roseman, just time and again, just an amazing GM. As much as I hate to admit it, he just knows how to fleece people.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely get that. But yeah, though, y'all, we got a couple more minutes, and then we're going to let my guy Abdullah go. I appreciate you for stopping by tonight, and we'll definitely be going live more, trying to get the live viewers back up. I am over on Twitch with it, live streaming over there too. So check me out over there. Check Abdullah out on DMV Sports Zone. And you said you're doing your own thing also too, right? Or
yeah, if you just search up Abdullah Ayubi, I'll definitely be up there too. But DMV Sports Zone, I'm trying to get it back up and running, trying to get some more interviews out there. Posted some like interviews I have with Chris Baker and Logan Paulson on Instagram, so that got kind of like a good amount of attention. So trying to get more. I'm trying to get Brandon Armstrong back on the channel. So it's always about like either memories or just talking about the team right now, you know.
Yeah, no, I definitely get it. So you guys go ahead and do yourselves a favor and check out DMV Sports Zone. Todd Labor says, do you know if there's any free agent kickers that are still out there that we could get signed? I'm not sure. I could look up on Spock Trap, but I feel like if there's anyone out there that's a free agent kicker right now, that's probably not a good sign. But no, we can actually definitely check right quick while we're near the end of the show. Let me see. I think Spock Chalk kind of changed. Let me see. I gotta go to free agents. 1 second. We can answer that question for you right now. Off the top of my head, I don't really know if there's anyone that's that I'm willing to take it to.
I can't really think of anyone either.
Yeah, I'm up here now though. I'm more kicker. So you got all the free agent kickers are signed, but like the ones that are available now, I don't think no one has hit the name is out there that I see. So I guess we do just have to wait until the cuts happen, and then we'll we'll hopefully do something because we have to. We cannot ride with them into the regular season. It's going to be very bad for us if we go out with them. So, Stefan says, you think we get any new alternative jerseys? I would love that. I would love that. My thing, Abdullah, for this is like the W, man, on your head and on this hat right here. Like, I just feel like it's bland. And I would like to to add a little bit more to it. Like in the middle of the field, especially, like I would like some kind of like I keep moving over. Let me do this. I kind of wish they would have like more of something else, just with like with the W or like a commander, like a military man or something like that. Kind of gives us a little bit flavor, but I just don't know. I definitely don't know if alternative jerseys are something that's gonna happen now, but I know in the future it's probably something that we can get done. But the stadium is something that we need to be focused on.
Oh,
Really. So, what
God, bro.
what do you say about that? Do you think there's any alternative jersey, alternative jerseys coming?
Honestly, dude, I know it's bad to say, but I don't care what we wear as long as we're winning on Sundays. Like for anything, they can just be out there in their underwear. I'm not that I don't I generally don't care about what we wear. And throwback jerseys are nice, and the colorless jersey I like, but I just want to see W's on Sunday. I know it's a bad thing to say as a fan, but that's just how it is.
Nah, I definitely understand you. Let's see if we have any more questions. Says Benson, I did look good. Yeah, he definitely did. Let's see. What about Jameson Crowder or Pringle? Do you guys think they'll make the team? I don't think Byron Pringle makes this team. He has a good shot to get that sixth spot because he can return kicks, and Bryson Tremaine can't. But I would rather them keep Bryson Tremaine for his ability to be that big body receiver we got. And Alameda Zacchaeus can return punts. I'm not sure about kicks, but he can return punts, and I think his ability to return punts kind of helps us kill two birds with one stone. I don't think Crowder makes this roster. He wasn't even out there at all on Saturday. Like he didn't play a single snap, so I don't think he makes this roster. What says you? Do you believe it? Do you think Brian Pringle should make this roster? Do you see him making this roster?
It was somewhat reliable last year, but I think just the fact that Alameda Zacchaeus, Casimir Allen potentially, I just think Byron Pringle and Jameson Crowder are just. I think the fact that they're also older and their age is gonna have them not make the roster.
Yeah, no, definitely for sure. I think that six pack goes to Bryson Tremaine. Cause y'all going to Tampa. I wanted to go. I had plans on going, and I'm not gonna say it's not gonna happen, but sometimes life hits you, man, and some unfortunate stuff takes place. So I'm hoping to still go, but I'm not really sure if that was the plan at first. I'm not really sure if that's gonna happen.
You know what's crazy, Juan? I haven't been to a game ever.
Ever?
Yeah, ever. I've only been to training camp and practice because I told myself that I'm only going to a game when we actually have like a winning quarterback and a winning team. Because my friends always tell me like it's generally a waste of a Sunday when you go and see disappointment, and then going to the stadium, leaving the stadium, the ride back, it's a lot. And plus, like watching it at home is just so much more enjoyable.
Yeah. So like you've never been to a game ever?
No, I went to the practice at FedEx, but I've never been to a game at all.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. I thought I was like kind of a newbie. I went to my first game. Like I went to my first real game. I want to say like preseason. I've been to preseason before, but like regular season, I think my first regular season game was probably 2021 Seahawks game. I want to say Monday night, and then I went to the 2022 season opener, and I haven't been back since. But I do definitely want to go back. But I want to hit a road game, so I definitely want to go road game. Also hopefully maybe it's still in play, but right now it's not looking likely for your boy, unfortunately, because life happens. But yeah, y'all, I appreciate y'all for tuning into today's live stream. We're gonna try to do this way more often to get back to the lives and talking to other people in the community, like my man Abdullah. So Abdullah, I appreciate you for stopping by tonight and taking time out your night to come onto the show. Is there anything that you would like to share and anything that you want to add on and let the people know where they can find you?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, dude. I'm always available. I love talking about sports. One of my favorite things to do in life. Like Juan said, we're on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at DMV Sports Zone. Just trying to grow out there and try to build this community. The Commanders community, like it's been growing recently. I see a lot of content creators out there, and it's very much needed because this franchise is very historic. I know recently we haven't been winning a lot, but back then we were a dynasty. So hopefully, eventually, us young guys will be there when the glory days are finally back, and we can witness a good team. The last time this team won a playoff game, I was 2 years old. So I'm hoping the next couple of years we see a playoff win, maybe a playoff push, and maybe a Super Bowl. Who knows? I just want to see one in my lifetime, and that's it. But yeah, man, Virginia Tech football is almost back. I have big hopes for the Hokies this year. Maybe contend for the ACC championship. We'll see. Kyron Jones is a legitimate quarterback and maybe could be a day 3 quarterback in the NFL draft in 2025. But all in all, I'm happy football is back. It's the best time of the year. When football is back, life is back.
I like that saying. But shout out to your VTech Hokies, but it's Spirit of Turtle over here all day, man. So football is back, as you said. Now I'll definitely be checking out the channel. Make sure you guys check out DMV Sports Zone. They put up good comedy content for the Commanders and really just any sport in the DMV. So go ahead and give them a follow and subscribe to y'all channel. Y'all have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy. Peace. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Use promo code SeatGeek or Juan Gotti on SeatGeek to get $20 off your first purchase. Almost forgot that. But y'all have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy. Peace.